Hey everybody, just wanted to give you a quick update on getting this project done here. It's a couple of little tweaks that we need to make here. I promise this won't take very long. So I think what we want to do here first is we'll be creating another table here. We'll actually edge into some more columns here. And so we want to insert a column to the right. You could also insert a column to the left. It would have the same effect here. But you'll notice I'm going up right to the top here. And I'm right-clicking and I'm saying insert one column to the right. And it's creating that for me very nicely. And what I want to do is to create two more columns here. And in particular, I want these columns to be one row longer than the columns to the left here. So I want them to extend down one additional row here. So here's the first column. I want to give it some outer borders here, just like before. I'll do the same thing here with this one to the right. Should be just as long. Again, one row taller than the ones to the left here. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing across the top here, so I have my nice little title bar. Okay, and so let me zoom in here from 50% to 100%. Let me scroll to the right. And here's what we're going to be creating here. For this top one, I want to say less than here, and I want to say cumulative relative frequency here. Okay, and these are going to be boldface 11 for both of them. Boldface 11. Nice. All right, and so here's what we want to do for this first less than here. We want to make it so that it's pointing to the lowest class boundary here, right over here. So what we want to do is to make it so that this is looking there. So I'm going to click on this cell here, and I'm going to hit equals, and I'm going to specifically select this first class boundary here, this small one, negative 6.2. If I hit enter there, then that's going to copy right over there. The one to the right, well, what's the number that's always going to be there here? We're asking what's the frequency going to be below this lowest class boundary here? That's always going to be 0, isn't it? So I can just type a 0 right in here. That'll be just fine. That's always going to be 0, no matter what. And then as I'm filling this stuff down here, it's going to focus not on the left class boundary, but on the right class boundary going all the way down. So that's why we needed to have an additional row here, because we had this extra one up top here for the 0. So for this one here to the right, I can make use of these cumulative relative frequencies that are here, like this. So this first one here, I'm going to hit equals, and I'm going to have it look to the one that's one row above it here, the very first cumulative relative frequency here. And I'm going to hit enter, and that should be the exact same number that we had before. If I fill this down now, then just like the one to the left here, it should show the same numbers as before, ending at 1 with blank rows below that. We want to do the same thing here for the left, but we want to make sure that it stops and doesn't fill down all of these here. It stops at an appropriate place. So there's a formula that we want to make use of here. I want to make sure I get this right here just to make this quick. So we want to hit equals, and once again it's an if statement, because we're taking a look at whether or not this number here yes, we're taking a look at whether or not this number here is less than or equal to the maximum, which is right here in the C column, C15. Okay, so in other words, if we are still in the game here with our lower class boundary still being below the maximum, and if that's the case, then what we want to copy over is this upper class boundary here, like this. So in this case it's the 11.8. It's the very first one here. Okay, and if not, then we want to indicate just just two quotes there for a null. So once again, this is taking a look at whether or not this lowest class boundary is less than or equal to the maximum. And then if that's true, we're going to be copying over this upper class boundary. And if not, then it's going to just copy over a null here. And let me make it so that this formula here has the appropriate dollar signs on it. We want to make sure we have a dollar sign before the L4 and before both the C and the, both the C and the 15. So let me zoom in here a bit so you can see this. I'll have to hit enter here so I can zoom in. Scroll to the right. So yes, well, it'd be nice if that could show up a little better. I'm afraid that might be as good as we get. Well, at least it shows up more sizably here. So yes, so here's the formula that we're working with here. And as you can see, it copies over the right side of the class boundaries here. The first one, the first class boundary maximum here, this 11.8. So that gets copied over there. And the point behind all this if stuff is so that when I fill this down, it should stop at the last row that it should stop at, namely here. So yeah, at 83.8, that's 100% of the data is less than 83.8. Let's just confirm that here as we move to the, is it 83.8? Interesting. Oh, yes, that's right. So 83.8 is the upper class boundary here on the last part of the frequency table here. So yeah, that's correct. Very, very nice. So we have our two columns here. Let me zoom out a bit. And I can actually make these columns with those boundaries recreated once again. Okay, and so these are the new columns actually that we're going to be using for the ogive to the left here. So we just have to make it so that the data columns that it's looking at are those two new columns that we just created here. In addition to that, I'm afraid I forgot that ogive is spelled with a G and not a J. So we're going to edit the chart here very quickly to make that correction very quickly here. So I'm hitting edit chart here. I'm going to customize. And then under chart title, let me also capitalize it. That'd be nice. So capital O G G-I-V-E there. Okay, and so now we have data ogive is correct. Let's go back here and let's change the data values here. Right now it's looking at the midpoint and the first cumulative frequency column there. We want to remove both of those so that we can now be looking at a different place. And so I'm just going to select a data range here by clicking on this. And let me see if I can go find where to look. I want to scroll up. Notice it allows you to scroll even though it has this window right here in the front. I can still scroll around and do this. So I'm going to select both of these columns here like this. Oh, okay, so here I'm going to say add series. Oh, sorry. I want to choose data range here, data range. So I canceled out of this, went up to data range here, and here's where I'm going to put my data range. It's going to be both of these columns here. This allows me to select both of them at once here. On the other option, I could only select one at once. So there we are. Okay, and so you can see it recognizes that there are two data sets here. There's the less than column and there's the cumulative frequency column. Right now we're under the x-axis here, and so we want to indicate the less than column for that. And then for the series for the y-axis, we're going to say cumulative relative frequency. And we can see our ogive is now correct. So let me zoom out here. And everything is exactly as it should be now. So hopefully that is exactly easy to follow there. It's just a quick update to make it so that this tool is going to be very, very useful for you as you're working on your projects. Take care.